Hey, the Thabreakmaster here, and I'm here today to give you my full series review on the series Shinmai Maou no Testament Burst, the second season of Shinmai Maou no Testament. So I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and whether or not you should watch this series. So there's actually quite a lot of good things I can actually say about this series here. This is a series where the ecchi isn't just the overarching plot of the ecchi series, you know what I'm saying? Normally, a lot of ecchi series, we have the ecchi is the plot, and then there's the actual plot itself. But that's just one thing when it comes to Shinmai Maou no Testament. Shinmai Maou no Testament actually tries to have a plot with the ecchi. It kind of goes hand in hand pretty much. But when it comes to this season here, actually, there's a lot more going on with the plot and with the main character and how it all revolves around him, which I have to say was quite interesting what they were doing here. And it seems like it leads up to another season possibly. I heard there's supposed to be an OVA for this series, so I'm thinking maybe the OVA will be the thing that clears up everything that was done within this season here. So yeah, the action of this series is on point, but that's Shinmai Maou no Testament Burst or Shinmai Maou no Testament for you, because their action tends to be pretty darn good. Animation was actually very fluid and very solid within the series, but it always has been, which is why it makes the ecchi just that much better. Now, you couldn't really get to see everything within all the ecchi and all that stuff because of the censorships and everything like that. I'm sure it's going to get some uncensored version at some point in time where you can see all its glory and everything like that. Your purse. Can't even say anything though. I really do like how in this season here that they focus a lot more on the story aspects of this season here and everything that they're trying to do within the setup for the next like season or the OVA and everything like that. And I'll admit the soundtrack is, it's not bad. I actually like the opening song. I listened to it quite a bit actually. It's kind of surprising me, but soundtrack is actually not that bad either. Now let's get into some of the negatives here. Though I was actually praising the fact that there's a lot of exposition and there's a lot more story going on here, I will have to say and dock some points for the series for the fact that there was so much going on that it's just the pacing of the series was one of the things that was like an issue with it, because everything was going quite quickly within this season here. Granted, they only had 10 episodes, unlike last season where they had 12 episodes. That could be one of the reasons why, but I'm not sure. And I'm curious of why they only have 10 episodes as opposed to 12. If someone has answers to that, please tell me. But I think that's one of the reasons why this season here seems to be a bit quicker as opposed to last season. But regardless, it's still pretty quick, and that was a con that I honestly had with it. Another fault that actually happened with this season here as well, and this is a big fault, honestly, I have with this, is the characterization of some of the characters in this season here. There was literally a character in this season that got 0 development. We have no idea what this character is about. It's quite surprising how that actually happened. And there are some other characters too that just didn't really get that much development at either. And it's just like some characters were just there just to fill in the harem too, and fill in the paces. And it's just like it lost some of that development that they kind of needed for some of these characters. I feel like it was lacking a bit in this season here, and it's obvious, especially with some of these characters in this season here. Regardless of the cons that I do have for this season, overall, this was an enjoyable time for me. I did enjoy watching this season here. I felt like it was a little bit better than the last season, I have to say, because again, the action was on point for me. The ecchi was on point as well, and just it did what it needed to do right, and with the exposition that they did have and the development that they did have for the story, I feel like that was what it was that really kind of caught my attention and made me actually enjoy this a bit more than I did with the last season. So, should you watch this series, Shinmai Maou no Testament Burst? I say maybe when it comes to this series, because it depends on the kind of person that you are. If you're a person that likes ecchi series and likes it like a ecchi that actually kind of has a story going on with it, that isn't just mindless booze first, then plot, then yeah, you're gonna like this. You're gonna like the show actually quite a bit. But I mean, if you're a person that isn't really big on ecchi, you're not really gonna find too much in this show here, honestly. So if you're big on ecchi, go ahead and watch the series. If you're not, veer away from it. So this is my review for Shinmai Maou no Testament Burst. Leave a comment below and tell me what you think of this season here. Like this review and subscribe to my channel if you want to see some more full anime reviews for me, because I will be doing more of these. So yeah, it's been the Thabreakmaster, and until then, people, break out.